Let's be honest, tooth care has never been this exciting. Until now. Introducing new Trident Advantage with baking soda. Clinically proven to help whiten teeth and reduce unsightly plaque.
And next week, filling!
New Trident Advantage. As exciting as oral hygiene gets.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
The rain is over in Atlanta, but the ground won't dry out too soon. We'll tell you why coming up.
And to the north, in the nation's capital, the rain is still falling. In just a minute, we'll tell you if it will affect tomorrow morning's commute. If you like your weather dry, neither the east nor the west is the place to be today. Hello, welcome to Weather Center. I'm Mike Bono.
And I'm Jim Cantori. This edition of Weather Center, by the way, is sponsored by CompuServe. Thanks for tuning in. Both coastlines are blanketed with rain. We can tell you that, especially the northwest and then the southeast. And in some places, it's been scarce for a while. Let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit as we head into the southeast. And, you know, I must start off this segment by telling you how peaceful it was last night to just have a night with the pitter-patter of rain on the roof. I mean, I can't even remember the last time that there was such a thing in Atlanta. I mean, it was a beautiful night last night. Yes, it was cold. Yes, it was cloudy. Yes, it was miserable to travel in. But just to hear those raindrops on the roof were pretty great. All right, here we go. Low pressure kind of stretched out along the coast here. Patches of low cloudiness and fog. Just miserable, miserable time here for you to travel right now if you're heading out to the malls to do some shopping in Roanoke, in Charlottesville, Virginia, also down and toward Raleigh-Durham. Just a miserable time there. And when is all this mess leaving? Well, here's the northeast. We look at the rain trying to move north into New England, but having a tough time doing so. As a matter of fact, the main rain band is out over the Gulf Stream right now. So the heaviest rain is out over the ocean, and you can see just the stragglers here heading off the Jersey Shore. We get a break into Delaware and Maryland, and then we get some more rain as we head back down into Virginia. What was it like around the nation's capital? Well, let's go ahead and find out a little bit as we talk about what's been happening there, show you some pictures. Now, if you're a history buff, you recognize that's the Lincoln Memorial, or excuse me, the Iwo Jima Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, and you can see that the flag is not really moving all that much, but it's definitely plenty wet. Rain around the capital is expected to wrap up a little bit later on this afternoon. Well, here's Atlanta, Georgia. We'll take you down to Atlanta. We'll show you the second part of our video source here, with this wet east. And you can see Atlanta a little bit wet here on Peachtree Street. It's rained most of the night into this morning in the city of trees. Clouds will hang around most of the day today, and temperatures aren't going anywhere either. Atlanta will see highs in the low 50s. All right, where else is it raining? Well, we take you south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, down in toward Parkersburg if you're driving along Interstate 77, or anywhere here in the hills across into Clarksburg, West Virginia. It is going to be wet. Same holds true for eastern Kentucky. But you'll notice in most places that the rain is thinning out. So here we go. Richmond, down into Boston, South Boston, Virginia. There's actually a little town here just before you get into North Carolina. Then down and through Raleigh, rainfall here, extending down into Columbia, South Carolina. Also rain along the coast this afternoon if you're thinking about golfing. And it's only in the 40s in many of these locations, so it's a raw, rainy day for many. Savannah, some showers just to your south, rain just to the south of Augusta, Georgia. Then we pick it up here south of Jacksonville, down through Ocala, so it crosses over I-75. More of a line of showers, maybe even a clap of thunder from time to time, and you can see it here from Brooksville down into the Tampa Bay area. And this is where the line kind of slows its east progression. So the chances of getting rain over the top of some of the same areas that have already been wet are very good here today. So needless to say, looks like a wet day coming up for Tampa. We'll keep you posted. Right now, let's find out what's happening out west with the rainfall. Here's Mr. Bono.
That's right, Jim. Pretty impressive totals out west, too. We're looking at Forks, Quileute in the Washington vicinity, almost 5 inches, and that is a storm total since the latest bout of rain started. Shelton, Washington, up about 4 inches. In Seattle, SeaTac Airport, about 2. So Seattle often missing out on some of the rain the immediate coastline gets, but not in this case. Portland, a little bit less, though, around 1 inch. What we have is a front, another in a series of fronts, coming on in from the Pacific Ocean into the west. A lot of isobars stacked up now around Cape Blanco in Oregon. We had a gust to about 60 miles an hour earlier, pre-dawn hours this morning. Now the winds are down a little bit there, but they're gusting around Lake Tahoe, Truckee, California, 40 mile an hour in gusts and about 40 to 50 miles an hour in Livingston, Montana, out in the dry areas east of the Rockies. So some wind picking up. There could be more gusts on the coastline, but we don't have gale warnings. Look at this high. For those of you that want to get into some early season skiing without any crowds, this is a great weekend. The Rockies sporting some good conditions and now sunshine with high pressure. But that storm center coming on in from the west. It's up to 52 at Portland, 48 Seattle. So really not that chilly. You know, none of these towns will have a problem with freezing and snow. 32 at Salt Lake, but a little fog and smoke in the valley in the morning. It'll burn off as time goes on. We could see some great weather in Southern California, Arizona, most of New Mexico. Again, the Rockies glistening today, but a pretty pronounced low-pressure system now coming in from the Pacific with a big surge of moisture ahead of it. We have winds gusting over 30 miles an hour on the California coast right now, locally higher in gusts and some pretty heavy rain. Speaking of which, rain is heavy at Bellingham, Washington, and coming in through Olympia, Seattle, and Tacoma. Interstate 5, a wet route to go. 101, windy and wet on the coastline, and it gets heavy down to the south, too. Spokane, it's rain except at the top of your local mountains, so it has gotten milder in the Pacific Northwest. So a light jacket
could save you 50